Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
Okay, hello and welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, and I am here with my guest, Helen Edwards. She is a beautiful spirit, and right now she's going to tell you about her. Take it away, Helen.
Hey, everybody. What's up? It's Helen Edwards, and I thank you so much for having me on, Tammi. Well, where do I begin? I'm going to do a quick little bio for everybody who don't know me. Like she said, I'm a very free-spirited woman, nomad gypsy, hippie gypsy. I'm also an international author of my book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom. Producer of my own book trailer that is phenomenal. Go check it out. My YouTube, Sexy Freedom Media. So I'm a trick of many trades. Does that sound bad?
No. No,
A
that
trick of
sounds
many
amazing.
trades.
That sounds like you're authentic.
That's right.
All right. So how did you get on your journey? And tell the people what it is that you do. Like, are you a coach? Are you a mentor? You know, I know that you are a professional speaker.
Yes.
So just
All
share,
right.
some of the things that you are involved in.
All right. Well, there's so many speakers and there's so many authors out there. So I really want to give a shout out to everybody who are those titles who've stepped into that, because the journey to get there is very challenging at times, and it takes a lot of strength and courage to step up to these plates. So yes, I am a public speaker. I've been speaking for about 12 years now, maybe a little bit over, podcasting for about 3 years. And I barely started getting into coaching in last year, 2020, because coaching came to me. People wanted to work with me. I'm also a yoga instructor. I've been teaching for about 6 years. I had a second business. Now we don't, but it was called Wild Women Retreats. And we did about 4 retreats. Me and my old business partner, Sarah Gypsy Wolf. Shout out, Sarah. And now I'm doing retreats on my own. I'm doing virtual online classes. I've done workshops. And just overall, I am a cheerleader of freedom. So if anybody wants to work with me, it's all about, it's a foundation of freedom of spirit, a freedom of self-love. And then we go from there. We move in whatever direction somebody needs.
Oh, that's powerful. That is so powerful. So how did you get here? How did you decide that this was the path that you were supposed to take?
I don't know how it is for a lot of people, but what I've heard and I can agree with is that the calling came from within. So I feel like this position really chose me. If you know my story or read my book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom, it tells all about my journey here. Really is, trying different things, thinking I was supposed to be a preacher at one time in my life, a correctional officer. I tried to get in the Navy. I always knew I had a warrior spirit. I just didn't know exactly what I was meant for. And when I was a child, I feel like as a child, you have a dream. And as you grow, that dream actually molds you into what you're really supposed to be. So how I got here, I really believe it was a game of chess, just taking different steps in different directions, dodging different bullets, dancing with many, many different vibes. And that got me to where I'm at. And I'm very, very happy, very fulfilled.
That is powerful because that is rare. I mean, because there are so many people, and I'm sure that makes your business actually grow because there are so many people out here that, they just don't have any idea where they're going to go. I mean, they may have had a vision, but they don't know how to get there.
Right.
So,
I definitely agree with that.
I was going to say, so if you encountered somebody like that, what would you share to them? What would be something that you would tell them?
Well, I think one of the big things about my life since I was a kid was I would always jokingly say, I'm a believer of signs. I'd say, oh my God, that was a sign. And I always felt like the universe or God or whoever you want to put in place of that speaking to you. I always used to feel like that was like the sign for me to go in, to go right or to go left whenever I was at a crossroads. So, and it's true, once you start expanding your mind, and if you're that type of person that believes that, you start seeing the signs and you start going in directions of the signs, and that'll help you. But if you ignore the signs, like I posted yesterday, something about, the universe is going to give you signs, and if you ignore those signs, they're going to get louder. And some of
Yes.
those signs happen within your soul and your spirit. Like if you're at a job that you really don't like, you first liked it, you first wanted it, but now it's not fulfilling your purpose and your passion and your spirit, you're going to feel that inside your body. You're going to be stressed out, sick, angry, annoyed, and that those bing, 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 there's like 5, 10 signs already that you're supposed to walk away from that position. And ultimately you're telling yourself, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. And I got to tell everybody out there who says, I don't know what to do, you know exactly what to do. You're scared to face the fact that what you do know is going to cause a huge shift physically, mentally, spiritually. And it is scary. I get it. So that's why you say you don't know all the time, but you really do know.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And I'm laughing because I'm thinking about how similar we both are, because that's how I handle people. I'm not giving you not sugarcoating shit. I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you exactly what it is. And then, it's up to you if this is something that you want to do, you want to pursue. And I even tell people that working with me, I'm like, you don't want to work with me if you're not going to do the work, because
Yes.
there's work involved. I'm not going to just shake a wand and then the shit is over, or tell you to light a damn candle and you're done. I mean, that's just not realistic, and it's not going to work.
Right.
So,
Definitely.
because it's funny, because when you work with people, and especially if they see you in a different a different way, they have expectations. How do you handle people's expectations of what it is that you're supposed to do?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm very lightweight. What I mean by that is I don't take things personally. And that is a practice tool that you practice for years, sometimes months, sometimes weeks. Um, and for me, it was one of the greatest tools that I have in my toolbox is not taking things personal. So if I don't take them personal, I'm able to let them go pretty easy. So if somebody has expectations of me, I feel bad for you because you're the one drawing the heat from that. Because I really don't give a shit. I just move on with my life. I'm living great. Like I hate to say it in this way, but it's almost like an I don't care attitude, but I really do care. I care so much about me and protecting everything I've built that I don't let it phase me. So if you got issues with the expectations that you have, that's between you and yourself.
They're your issues.
Yeah. And I mean it's a good issue to have, to be honest, because that gives you something to work on with yourself. And once you conquer it, it's a great feeling, I'll tell you that. We all had to do it. Welcome to the club.
My daughter used to say, Mom, that sounds like a you thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I would talk to her, be like, well, they did so and so and so, and they said, blah, 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 blah. And my daughter would be like, Mommy, that sounds like a you thing.
Yeah.
I was like, well, she might be right. She might have stumbled on something.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're right. It really don't have nothing to do with you. And I tell people that all the time, and they look at me like I'm being harsh, you know. But I'm like, no, I'm not being harsh. I'm being real. I don't know what
Mhm.
planet you live on. I said, but this one here that we live on right now I'm not from here, but this
Right.
planet that we're on right now, this is how we got to do this thing. You got to
Mhm.
at some point accept some responsibility for your
Yes.
journey.
Yes.
and your path and know. But anyway, so do you have spiritual practices that you use that help you?
Absolutely. uh, yeah, I definitely do. I've been practicing them since I was a kid. They got refined over years, obviously. I grew up in a very religious home, read the Bible all the time, and then that manifested into an exploration of me diving into what spirituality is for me personally, having a personal relationship with the great divine, the great spirit, universe, God, Yahweh, all of these terminologies, but
Yeah.
ultimately it is something so deep and so profound. And you just grow and grow and grow and do different practices. I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned about my spiritual practice is don't place limit on spirit. Don't place limit on it. In
Yep.
fact, I was just telling somebody, they said, well, how often do you set aside time for meditation every day? I said, look, if spirit says, sit your ass down and be quiet, be still, then that's what I do, because I'm not running the show no more. My spirit's taken over. So you can't put spirit in a box or on a timeline. That's like putting a little kid in a corner. Spirit's not a little kid. It's bigger than you are. It's connected with everything. So I
Yes.
got my rituals I do in the morning, my rituals I do throughout the day, but ultimately I really try to allow my spiritual um, practice, my spirit in my life be the running force behind everything, because I can tell when I'm off and it does not feel good.
That is that's powerful. And it really is. I was trying to think of another word to say, but there's not. That is because the thing is so many people are not doing that, and I believe um, that this pandemic has been the source of a lot of awakening, because I believe that people are having no choice but to wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
I believe that that thing came into our lives to transform us, and it brought us back to center, I believe, because so many people are praying that have not prayed before. And when I say praying, I don't mean it in the traditional sense, even though for me, I was raised Pentecostal holiness. So it was a lot of religion.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
my upbringing, we went to church all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I grew up, I said, I got church in a file. I said, if God needs to know whether I went to church, I said he can pull the file drawer up, and he can look on Wednesdays, and he can look on Fridays, and then he can look on choir practice Saturday,
Yeah.
Sundays all fucking day, and
I know that life.
look,
Yep.
you get up in the morning and you
I
go
like
at
that.
8 o'clock. You might be at church all day. And then when I was
Mhm.
younger, they had food in the basement. So you would go down to the basement and eat, and then you would come back up and go to church some more.
Mhm. Yep.
I said,
Food break.
right. I was like, I'm gonna do a pause because I ain't nobody making me go. Because
Mhm.
even when I got to be a teenager, I don't know about you, but we would go out. You could go out, and whatever time you came home, that was whatever. But by 7:30, you better have your ass ready and put your clothes on so you could go to church.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But I, like you, just started diving into spirituality and into learning about the God of my own understanding. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Mhm.
like I tell people, I said, I am a God girl. I believe in God. However, I believe in the huge bigness of God, not putting God in a box. I said, because what I noticed in religion a lot of times is they say they believe, but they don't really believe. A lot of times they really don't have no faith. And you like, but you just talked about that at church, but now you don't believe God can heal. And I saw a disconnect there.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's what has helped me in that area, because it's like, no. You say this is
Yeah.
God. He is the divine, he is the creator. and I'm sure that,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The creator can
When
do
it comes,
whatever.
well, if I may, when it comes to God or religion or spirituality, a lot of people, I don't often get asked this question, so thank you for asking it.
Oh, you're welcome.
But what for me, I try to keep the relationship between spirit and myself, within this relationship with me and spirit. And I am the vessel
Yes.
of whatever light is to be shined through that, and I've, I've got tons of friends in my circle who are Christians and Catholics and different, a variety, spiritual, atheists. And, one of the things I promised myself is if you're going to be open and you're going to be loving, I remember being invited to church and I was already done with that life. But I told myself, they're inviting you into their world, into this place of worship that you once came from, but they still love that. That's what they love.
Right.
And I said, you can say no, or you can say yes, because I love my friend.
Them.
I love what she stands for. So I went, I had a really good time. And I just remember thinking, you know, to be open and loving, you've got to learn to, whatever side you choose, you still
Yes.
got to be open to whatever else there is. It's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
It's,
do.
so yeah, I really
I
try to stay
believe in that
open.
as well.
Yeah.
As I tell people, funny story. So I met my husband now, because I see, we'll be married 5 years in June. So I
Oh.
met my husband in Phoenix at a little church. I met
Where?
him. I met him at a Church of God in Christ church.
Oh, okay.
And so somewhere in downtown Phoenix, a friend of mine had invited me to church. We worked together, and she kept inviting me. She was like, come to my church, come to my church. And I was like, oh, well, all right, all right. So finally I went, and I had a good time, and the message was good. But the backside of that was, if she had told me, and I told her this, and I think the reason I didn't know was because I was supposed to meet my husband. And so I told her, I said, if you had told me the type of church it was, I would have never gone. Because
Wow.
generally, Church of God in Christ, Kojic churches,
Yeah.
are really rigid, like in their dress and all this stuff. And just don't believe God cares about that shit. I just don't. Because I'm like, if he did, he would have made us with clothes on. But since he didn't, then we should be good. But they're like really rigid and all this stuff. And they you got to wear the thing on your head when you go into church and all this shit. And I was like, I'm not even down with it. I don't even have a thing for my head, So,
But you met your husband there?
I met my husband. Yes.
Wow. Divine
He
intervention.
was visiting. Exactly. He was visiting. It was about my third time visiting. And then he walked in the door. And when he walked in, I said, damn, that's fine.
Yeah.
I did. I was like, my first thought, I was sitting there, and my
Wow.
girlfriend that took me, she looked at me and I looked at her, and she said, that's fine. I said, yes, it is. So then before we left, she said, you gonna talk to him or you want me to? I said, girl, I will beat your ass. No. And that's how that worked. But I think about it. I said, now, if I had turned her down and said, no, I'm not going to go. You know what I mean?
I do.
We might not have met at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, and I had actually already been told that I was going to meet my husband that year.
Wow.
But I didn't believe it, because I was like, I already kissed a bunch of frogs. I was like, I'm not kissing no more frogs right now. I'm taking a break.
Yeah, taking a break from kissing frogs.
So I wasn't even interested.
That's funny.
Oh, exactly. But anyway, this is about our time. What I want to do now is I want you to share again where the people can connect with you. And if you have an offer that you're offering, you can share that as well. And then I'll actually have all of this stuff in the description. So if you don't hear what she says, it'll be in the description how you can connect with her, because she is on several platforms, I know. And I'm super excited.
Yes.
This has been just an amazing conversation. And I have truly loved spending time with Helen. And I hope that you have loved spending time with us. So, Helen, just
Yes.
share with the people where they can connect with you. And if you have anything to offer right now, it's all up to you. So
Sure.
do it. Take it away.
Here I go, everybody. Check one, check two.
Right, right.
All right. So I do have a sexy self-love virtual online workshop going on in February 12th. It's 2 hours, and I have a special going on right now. You can find it on my Facebook, Sexy Freedom Media, or go to my website, sexyfreedom.com. You can find me on Instagram, Hell of a Journey with 1L, also Sexy Freedom Media on my other Instagram. I am a coach. I do offer, free consultations, meaning like, get at me, talk to me, tell me what you want, what you're about. Let me see if I can
If we can work
assist you,
together. Yes.
if I can encourage you, if I can motivate and inspire you and just help you get to where you'd like to go. If not, I know tons and tons of people, Tammi being one of them, so yeah, just let us know how you enjoyed this and how either of us can serve you. And thank you so much for having me on and listening.
Oh, no worries. This was so much fun. We definitely have to connect again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, I was gonna say, I would also like to invite you. I don't know. I know that you are a writer, but I want to invite you into my group because I have a writing from your soul sharing to heal group. We do journal prompts every day. I'm going to be doing some teachings, and I'm inviting other people to come in. If you do something that you want to teach, then you can teach as well, because I believe that, each one teach one. Isn't that how it goes?
Yes, I like that. That's awesome.
So let's help a sister out, because I know that in this time we really need it. It's
Yes.
so many things going on, and so much upheaval, and so much in the world, and this damn pandemic, and this damn virus, and this fucking vaccine, and all these things happening that people really, they need some help, they need some assistance. So anyway,
Absolutely.
I just put that out there, and I want to just thank you for joining me and for watching us today. And if you like what you see, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that little bell so you can get notified of new videos coming out, because we'll be, handling that. And then Helen, also, you have a YouTube channel, right?
I do. I have a YouTube channel, Sexy Freedom Media.
Okay, so she has a YouTube channel as well, and I'll also put those details in the description as well, so that you can find her and connect with her as you need to. So thank you so much for joining us. This has been phenomenal. I've had the best time. So
I have too.
thank you so much for joining. Bye now.